Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar Partner Awareness Session. My name is Makay from MBCom marketing team, and I'm delighted to be your host for today. Please make sure that your microphone muted during the session, and you can use the chat box at any time so you can share your questions. We will dedicate some time at the end for the Q&A. It's my pleasure to introduce our speakers today, Kalman, our technical channel manager at MBCom, and Robert, the channel manager at MBCom. Over to you, Kalman.
Thank you very much, Mai. I need to share my screen. Theoretically, it's happened. Okay. Good morning. Good afternoon, everybody. This is the last webinar in this year. And we planned a very special topic, not talking about the technology, not talking about how the hackers are hacking our system. On today, as a last webinar, we will talk about the partnership, how you can be a partner, how we can make a stronger relationship between each other. And for the hardcore partners, maybe it's a good opportunity to get the refreshed information about how they can get the training materials, how they can improve the knowledge, and naturally through this, how they can improve the business. Here you see the today's agenda. We will talk about the history of the Broadcom, just on the high level. Robert will present what type of partner levels and what type of benefits are available for the partners. We will go through on the overview, portfolio overview, in case of the CE and the Symantec products. But in this case, I will talk about the business units. We will go through on the topic that how you can get the enablement contents, what type of enablement tools are available, because a lot of content is available on the partner portal. And we will talk about the certifications, and top of that, we will talk about the challengers and the NICE program, that how we can make much more stronger the technical community in the MBCom ecosystem. Now I give a floor for Robert, and he will tell you the details about the partner levels and the partner benefits. I stop the screen sharing, and Robert, the floor is yours. If you have any question, feel free to use the chat window. On the fly, we won't answer to the questions, but at the end of the session, we will check the chat window and we will answer to you. As I see Robert shared the screen, so Robert, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Kalman. Thank you, everyone, for being with us on this webinar. I would start by giving an idea about Broadcom, who used to be a chipset and semiconductor company back in the days. Along the line, they went into IPO in 2009, but it used to be named Avago. So if you want to go to see their shares name, it's Avgo now. They went as Avgo as ticker. And the top management, after seeing that they are kind of dominating the market, or maybe having a very big market share within the semiconductor and chipset manufacturing, they decided to go into the software world. And this is where the journey started, by acquiring CA, which is the enterprise software, followed by the famous acquisition of Symantec in 2019. And they have done an entity separated now from the semiconductor and chipset company, and they named it a Broadcom Software Group. Post that, again, they acquired VMware, and this is now Broadcom being, CA, Symantec, and VMware company all together under the Broadcom umbrella. Again, a little feedback or an overview on Symantec, who had the vision of being an enterprise security group, and similar to what Broadcom was doing in acquisition, that's how Symantec built the legacy. I'm not gonna go through timeline, but they have started building the information security by acquiring Ubuntu, which is the DLP core or on-premise. And also they have acquired Elastica as CASP or DLP cloud. To build the web security, they have acquired Blue Coat as a proxy or secure web gateway, as we name it, as well as Luminate to build the zero trust network access, ZTNA, and of course the web isolation as Fireglass. And then after that, there was the acquisition of Broadcom. From Broadcom, when Broadcom acquired VMware, they have given the new baby, which is Carbon Black, under the cybersecurity umbrella. But also after the acquisition of Symantec, Broadcom acquired Bay Dynamics, which is the risk analytics or user behavior and user entity behavior analytics, which is a very important factor in the information security. Now we come to let you know about Ambicom. So we are a subsidiary of Midis Group. However, we are the sole representative of Broadcom across Middle East, Turkey, Africa, East Europe, and CIS states. We work with our partners mainly to build for growth of both the organizations. So it's a real partnership. We hand in hand go to the market to increase footprints, be it in the accounts where we work or in the country where we operate. Mainly, we follow the innovation style in working with our partnership. So now we follow subscription model, which is mandated by Broadcom. And as part of our big group, we have alignment on the investment we make within the markets where we operate, making sure that wherever we invest to win. And we do follow kind of data approach. And this data approach does not really link to only numbers, but also we do qualification within our partners' communities in terms of technical skills and sales skills. And we evaluate performances based on that. And this is where we came up with this channel program, where we have decided to have tiered partners versus registered partners. Now, in the tiered partners, we have tier 1 and tier 2. Registered is a space where we really let our distribution partner lead on that space with, of course, our overview of this partnership. And as a channel manager, I'm going to talk about myself. I have a big focus on the registered space because I want to bring up the registered partners to be tiered partners. How is that? First and foremost is the requirement on the certification, be it for sales and pre-sales. Number one mandatory thing to become a tiered partner is the certification. You might feel like we are in a school, but no. This is where we want our partners to become consultant for their end user in the solution that they are selling to them. So They don't depend on us in anything. They go and freely consult with their end user and give him the right decision. Number two on the requirement is a revenue target, and it depends on the geography. That's why I did not put any number on this slide. So this is agreed between the partner, the channel team, and the cluster leader. Another thing that we require from the partners is a business plan, because we consider the business plan as a compass to our business that we review on quarterly and yearly basis, and accordingly we take decisions again on demoting or promoting. In a nutshell, this is all that we have as requirements from our partners. When it comes to benefits, tier 1, tier 2 partners will have specific portal access, which is called deal registration portal, where they can register new business deals or leads. And once registered, they will be protected in terms of pricing. And this deal has to be at a $35,000 minimum, but it's the selling price. It's not the final price. Number two benefit is the not for resale licenses, where a partner can take and can get upskilled on the solution that he decided to go to pursue the market with. Another one is the proposal-based MDF. So if the partner has an activity or a marketing plan, we will agree with them on specific activity that will yield a proper ROI for both the organization, and we support on that. Of course, renewal incumbency applies to all the partners, because we have the ethics that if a partner bring a deal for us this year, on the birthday, that partner is the only incumbent partner and protected partner on the renewal date. Couple of things that are for tier partners, again, is the Ambicom Challenger Program, which I think, and I'm sure Kalman will take you through, and the exam vouchers for the technical team who wants to become certified expert and has to do a Pearson View exam. This is where we also support with exam vouchers, but this is, again, Kalman will maybe touch base on that. Last but not the least, before I hand over to Kalman, is that I said earlier on, we want our partners to become consultant. So once we have the confidence that a partner is really a consultant on a specific solution, and we encounter a lead on that solution where we cannot really handle the lead, we reroute the lead to the partner who is really upskilled on that solution. Again, thank you very much for your time on the call, and over to you, Kalman.
Thank you very much, Robert. Yes, I will go deeper and I will explain for you that what type of vouchers we are giving, how we can support you. But this before, meanwhile I share my screen, let's see the divisions, because Robert shared to you the acquisitions and the history of Broadcom. And maybe you saw that a lot of acquisition happened. Chips manufacturers or software companies. So let's see behind the scenes that what type of business units are available, or let's focus only to the three most important business unit which is available on the partner portal. And because this is why we are here to explain for you that how we can support you in case of this three business unit portfolio. So if you open the partner portal, this is what you see on the screenshot. And my plan that if we release the recorded version, I will include the presentation also. So you can watch back the presentation and you can use the presentation also. But here you see the live partner portal. So you can choose the division or you can choose the portfolio inside the Broadcom. Typically on the partner portal, you see the software solutions. On the first column, you see the enterprise software mainframe solution. You see on the right side, the cybersecurity, you see the VMware, and you see the IMS solution. And this is a typical question for the partners, that what means the IMS solution? So if you log into the portal, and just a small remark that only the tier 1 and tier 2 partners can access to this portal. So if you browse this portal, that the question is that frequent question from the partner side, that what means the IMS solution? Before I go deeper, here you see the acquisition. This is a high level and today's focus acquisition roadmap from the Broadcom history. So 2 acquisitions happened in the past. In 2018, the CA, and 2019, the Symantec security solution. And part of that, the company, Broadcom, created 2 divisions, 2 business units. As you see, in the background, Broadcom has over 25 divisions. So you can imagine that itself the portfolio is huge. Robert and me, as a channel, we are covering the ESG, the AOD, and the IMS. What means this? The ESG is covering the security products on the high level. Later I will show you the details. The AOD typically is covering and contains the CA products. But in the background, Broadcom made a decision and created a new division named IMS. The AOD is an Agile Operations Division. The ESG is the Enterprise Security Group. And the IMS is the Identity Management Security. And the IMS is a hybrid portfolio. So it means that some product is from the Symantec side, some product is from the CA side. So this is important information for you because if you browse the partner portal, now you understand that what means the IMS. So why the company separated this portfolio, or why created a new portfolio. Moreover, typically this is not visible for the partners. So if you are talking about the security products, we talk about the email security, endpoint security. So for you, typically, or for the customers, it's unnecessary to explain what is the name of the division. In the background, sometimes it's important because these divisions are working parallel. So for example, the ESG division has a separated marketing budget. They have a separated program. They have a separated requirement about the certification. I will explain for you this. In case of the AOD is the same. So they are running a different webinar series. They are handling the night certification, absolutely different meeting requirements. And in case of the IMS, the same. So they are running parallel and they are creating their own program, marketing program, enablement program, and customer success program. Now let's see the AOD first. Under the AOD, you see the VAOps, the NetOps, and the automation. If you don't know the portfolio, maybe it's absolutely unknown for you that what means this. On the high level, in case of the Rally and the Clarity, we are giving a project management, resource management, product management, portfolio management option. If you are curious, part of additional webinars, we can demonstrate for you and we can show you the solution. Part of the NetOps, you have an opportunity to monitor your network infrastructure. You can create a provisioning. You can create a provisioning report. You can measure your environment. Moreover, you can continuously create a dependency roadmap. So you can immediately we'll see that, for example, if one of your main network component shut it down or is an outage happens, that what is the effect and what is the actual status of your environment. And automation means that you can automate your processes. We can talk about the business processes. We can talk about the standard IT processes. So this solution is a framework, and if you can translate your processes, your workflows to the language of atomic automation, it can be an API communication. It can be a direct communication with your databases. It can be a high-level solution just to inform the organizations to create a workflow, internal workflow to handle the new user request or change the permission, or the opportunities and options are unlimited. So you can automate everything. And nowadays, this is important because through this, you can close out the human error. moreover, the colleagues can focus to the much more important task in the infrastructure. So basically, the atomic automation nowadays is an important part of the organizations. So this is about the AOD. If you are talking about the ESG, the cybersecurity portfolio, this is a very interesting situation because you see the carbon black on the slide. Carbon black came from the VMware acquisition, and Carbon black is giving the endpoint security solution. On the ESG side, the endpoint security is coming from the Carbon black side and coming from the Symantec side. Both portfolio is absolutely living. The company continues to release the new versions. Later, we will see that what will happen. But if you are talking about the endpoint security, then depending on the customer requirements, depending on the customer budget, and depending on the customer maturity, you can choose from the ESG portfolio 2 types of endpoint protection. The first can be the Symantec side, or the second one can be the Carbon black. And this is not a priority order. It's a freedom for you to choose the right solution and give the right solution for your customers. Part of the ESG, we are focusing to the network security also. In this case, typically we can talk about the web protection to restrict the web access in case of the employees, protect the employees against the traditional and the sophisticated cyber attacks. Through the network security, we can give the web isolation solution, which means that we are detonating all of the malicious code in our isolation level, and the employee will be protected. No any attack will come through the browser. We are giving the zero trust network access, which means that the employees and the contractors, external employees, external contractors can access to the internal infrastructure in control mode, which is much more bigger opportunity other than the traditional VPN connection. And we are giving the SSL visibility option, which means that if you have any encrypted or the customer has any encrypted communication using the SSL technology, then you can offload and you can inspect that what is inside this network communication. Involving additional tools and integrating with the SSL visibility. For example, you can protect the network flow against the traditional and sophisticated attacks, or you can inspect the content, integrating with the DLP solution. You can block the communication, or you just simply record the session and part of the forensic action, you can trace back that what happened in the infrastructure. And the last column, maybe this is the important, is the information security. So nowadays, the DLP is a hot topic for everybody on the world. This is what we see. Because everybody applied the endpoint security, everybody is using the web protection, everybody is controlling the email flow. But nowadays, you need to focus how the sensitive information try to leave your organization, or how the sensitive information try to leave the customer's environment. In this case, we can talk about the on-premise infrastructure, but naturally we can talk about the cloud. More and more companies going to the cloud. And what is the nature of the cloud services by the providers? The cloud solution is always accessible, available from everywhere and for everybody. So if on today I am logging in to the Office 365 in Dubai, and suddenly using my username and password, somebody is logging in Sydney, bypassing the two-factor authentication or using the two-factor authentication. Itself, the provider typically is not deciding that this is a hacking activity, or I shared my username and password because this is permitted by the policy, company policy, and I permit it for another person to log in on behalf of me into the system. So typically the software as a service and the cloud providers not taking care that how you are using the cloud and what type of information stored in the cloud. Naturally, they are giving an option to take over the control or take the control and sanction the cloud access. But on the opposite side, the integration is always a big question. I will return to this topic. So part of the ESG cybersecurity, we are focusing the endpoint security, Carbon Black/Symantec. We are giving network security tool, and we are giving the information security. The email security is missing from the ESG, but as I mentioned, from the cybersecurity portfolio perspective, this is transparent for you. On the opposite side, if you are using the partner portal, then important for you, because the email security is belong to the IMS business unit. So if you need any information, if you are browsing the partner portal, then you will find the email security topic under the IMS. Under the IMS portfolio, we have two main silo, IMS Enterprise Products. This is the CEA portfolio. And the IMS Security Products, this is the Symantec portfolio. If you're using the product, naturally, you will see the CEA or Symantec logo in the product. This is just a partitioning on the company level, because as I mentioned, these divisions are running parallel and providing different programs for partners and for the customers. In the IMS security products, we are giving, for example, email security solution, privileged access management, PAM solution, remote access to the internal infrastructure, API security. You can protect, or the customer can protect the API communication. Nowadays, this is very important topic next to the DLP because of the DORA or any other local regulation required to open from the employee or from the customer side, required to open the infrastructure and give an opportunity to log into your system by third party or by another corporations. So basically the API is important, but naturally under the hood, we are giving the encryption solution, the traditional PGP solution, the endpoint management solution, two-factor authentication. And on the IMS enterprise product side, we are giving the additional opportunity to your monitor infrastructure. So with the DX family, AIOps and observability products, you can monitor your application, your infrastructure. So if you combine the products, and if you are talking about the portfolio, this is a keyword here, that how you can combine and how you can make bridge between the solution from A to Z, from the endpoint, which is using, for example, the office network or roaming somewhere outside from the company network. So from the endpoint to your low-level hardware level, you can monitor your whole infrastructure. You can control from the IT infrastructure management perspective and from the security perspective also. The DevOps category gives you the opportunity to develop your application. You can create your virtualized environment. You can emulate your environment. You can emulate your answers. So if your developers are working on the company developed application, then sometimes they need a test data, sometimes they need a test environment, or sometimes they need an environment which looks like the original environment, and through this they can develop the application. On today, we won't talk about the VMware because, as I mentioned, we are covering the AOD, IMS, and the ESG portfolio. But if you have any question about the VMware, we can help you to reach the right colleague inside the Embecom organization. Now let's go deeper into the cybersecurity portfolio. Historically, the Symantec, and let's focus to the first and the upper line on the Symantec side. In 2007, the company acquired Vontu. This is nowadays the DLP on-premise component, on-premise solution. In 2015, Symantec acquired Elastica. Nowadays, this is our DLP cloud solution, but this is much more than the traditional DLP solution. In 2016, we acquired Blue Coat. So this portfolio nowadays is the on-premise and the cloud proxy solution, including the threat protection. Part of the mobile protection, 2017, we acquired SkyCure. So under the hood, if you are installing on today the Symantec endpoint mobile from the Apple shop or Android shop, this is free, so feel free to use. Under the hood, the SkyQ is running. The web isolation nowadays, because a lot of sophisticated attack and a lot of hackers try to get internal information from the infrastructures, we acquired the Fireglass. Nowadays, the email security solution and the proxy solution is using. And in 2019, we acquired Luminate. And nowadays, this solution is the Secure Access Cloud. This is the Zero Trust Network Access solution. The acquisition means that the company continuously developed and developed the solutions. And the company continuously working on to make part all of the acquired product to the Symantec ecosystem. What means this? The products can cooperate with each other. So for example, the Javelin in 2018 acquired, you don't see as an individual application, but if you are using the Symantec endpoint protection, you automatically get this solution. And through this, you can protect your environment and the customer naturally. You can protect the environment against the Active Directory type of attacks. In 2020, the company acquired the risk analytics, Bay Dynamics. This is the user and entity behavior analytics. Why is important? Because nowadays we need to see and we need to highlight that one or multiple employee in the organization malicious, continuously release sensitive information, continuously try to reach non-work related websites, continuously try to download malicious applications, or itself the employee activity is malicious. So nowadays is a standard requirements from the enterprise and sometimes the SMB customers. So it's depending on what is their focus and what is their activity, to highlight that one of the employee or multiple employee at the company is malicious and doing something bad. Or later, part of the forensic need to investigate that who was malicious in the infrastructure. On the bottom line, you see the VMware line, and for us here, the Carbon Black is the storyline, which means that VMware acquired the Bit9 in 2002. This is the Carbon Black application control. It means that you can harden your infrastructure. So without using any traditional endpoint protection solution, with this tool, you can harden your infrastructure. Typically, we can talk about the OT devices, ATM devices, special devices, which is not supported by the operating system vendor. Or we can talk about the environment where you know that how you want to harden your infrastructure, and without applying any traditional endpoint protection, you close down and you can be sure that nothing bad can happen on these systems. In 2016, VMware acquired Confer, and nowadays this is the cloud-based Carbon Black endpoint protection solution. So if you are talking about the common portfolio, you see that we can cover all of the most important termination points. So we can talk about the employees, about the users. We can talk about the managed devices managed by the IT teams, IT security teams, IT infrastructure teams. We can talk about the unmanaged devices. It can be a mobile phone. It can be a third-party developer, external contractor. On the right side, we can talk about the internet access, or we can talk about the software as a services, which is used officially or unofficially by the employees. So we can talk about Office 365, Salesforce, and a lot of many other cloud solution. And naturally, we can talk about the shadow IT, because all users try to use unofficial application just to make easier the daily life or daily work. ChatGPT, for example, AI tools, or any other cooperation tool. We can talk about the on-premise data centers, or we can talk about the private clouds, and we can talk about the email traffic, receiving an email, sending an email, storing an email. So this is the typical infrastructure on the high level. On the cybersecurity level, we can talk about the on-premise solutions and the cloud solution. We can talk about the solution which can be managed in the cloud or on-premise or both. The Symantec main goal to release to both territory all of the security products. So the customer has a freedom to decide that want to use on-premise only, want to manage on-premise only, want to use cloud, want to manage from cloud, or want to create a hybrid solution, which means that from a single management console, just with a single click, can release the new policies or the new rules to on-premise and into the cloud. Need to mention the Global Intelligence Network, the short name of this GIN. Why is it important? Because through the GIN, we see that what is happening on the world. The GIN is our biggest civilian on database, belong only to Broadcom, used by only Broadcom. And with this system, we can give you a verdict. It can be through the product, for example, endpoint protection or proxy solution, that if the employee tried to reach any website, then this is malicious and need to block the access. If the employee tried to send an email, then this is a phishing email or malicious email. Sometimes part of the attack, it can happen. But if the employee receive an email, then the GIM will help us that the source IP address or the attachment or the content is malicious and need to block. And if you are talking about the security solution, then we can talk about the endpoint security. You can manage on-premise or from cloud or from both places, powered by GIM. We can talk about the web proxy solution, on-premise and in the cloud. So if the employee using the company network, then will be protected with the on-premise proxy. If the employee leave the organization with the managed device, then can switch to the cloud proxy automatically, transparently, and continuously will be protected. We can talk about the cloud security, which means that the employee try to reach the Office 365, for example, from managed device or from unmanaged device, how you can protect, how you can prevent that the employee downloads sensitive information to unmanaged devices. So nowadays, these are very important. The remote access is another important thing, typically not just for the employees, typically for the IT administrators, external contractors, but itself the purpose is unlimited. So basically with this solution, you can give the option for your employees on the customer side for the employees that they can reach the internal network without using any special application in the background, just using the web browser, using the standard application can access to the internal infrastructure. This is very exciting topic. On first look, it looks like very wide, but comparing to the VPN solution, this remote access solution giving much more bigger visibility what the employee did, how did. Moreover, you can proactively protect the infrastructure. That sensitive information cannot leave the infrastructure. So part of that we can cover, and we can involve the unmanaged devices also naturally. And part of the email security, we continuously can protect the organization against the sophisticated targeted attacks or the traditional attacks. Moreover, through the features, you can handle the inbound and the outbound emails, even if the customer is using, for example, G Suite or Office 365 or any other cloud solution, so not just on-premise solution. Identity security, nowadays this is important requirement, not just giving the username and password, the two-factor authentication is important. On top of that, the DLP. Why the DLP is important? Or why need to choose the right DLP solution? If you are working with the DLP solutions and you are offering to your customers, I believe that typically the question is that please give me a use cases. You are giving the use cases and you try to prepare the customer to choose the right DLP solution, but sometimes the budget limited, sometimes the time to implement the solution limited, or sometimes you realize that one of the core component is missing from the infrastructure. So for example, if they are not using a proxy, then you are blind. You cannot control how the employees reach the internet and what type of information they try to share, for example, through the WhatsApp or through the Facebook Messenger or something like that. Or on today, the customer is using on-premise proxy. They are choosing the DLP solution on today, but on tomorrow they choose a cloud solution, a cloud proxy solution. In this case, they cannot make an integration with the actually used, currently used data loss prevention. So if you're talking about the portfolio, and if you're talking about how you can build up the roadmap with the customer, then we can declare that on the market, and this not means that we are giving the best features or something like that. Actually, the Symantec is the only vendor on the market which can cover all of the termination points and can give you the security solution, information security solution, and malware solution, malware protection solution from A to Z, from the endpoint to the backend system. And through this, you can protect your endpoint, you can protect your network communication, you can protect your email flow, your information flow, your cloud activity, the employees' cloud activity. You can isolate your critical employees. We can give the remote access. We can give the compliance option. You can run the CIS benchmark on your cloud solution. So if the customer needs to apply any rule, any local policy, rule or policy can be declared, for example, by the government, or need to apply any regulation, DORA, NIS2, PCI DSS. Then through the compliance tool, on-premise or in the cloud, you can continuously audit your environment. And this is not on the screen, but naturally we can give the encryption, we can give the IT management option. So basically, we can give the complete security stack. Moreover, not just giving you individual products, these products can cooperate with each other, and compatible with each other. So it means that on today, if you start to build up your security stack with Symantec, then we can be a partner, and the products can be a partner on this, because you can be sure that they can communicate with each other, and you can make integration, a smooth integration between the components. Moreover, we are not giving multiple components. So for example, if we are talking about a DLP, some vendor is giving next to the web proxy solution, a DLP solution, then the customer need to manage 2 different consoles. In our case, you just need handle and manage only just 1 console, and on this 1 single console, you can declare your information protection policy, and you can protect from this 1 single console and 1 single point, a cloud environment and the on-premise environment. So this is what we can give you part of the ESG and the cybersecurity portfolio, and partially the IMS security portfolio. Now let's see the EOD part. EOD/IMS enterprise offers. We can talk about the portfolio management. We can talk about the development lifecycle, designing the application, building up the application, virtualizing the production infrastructure, checking the quality of the systems, release management, or we can talk about how the employees utilize the infrastructure, or what will happen if one of the system components shutting down or not working properly. What will happen in the next 5 years if the trend is continuously growing or increasing, is depending on. So basically, we can give you a tool to cover all of your activity, which is about the planning, how you build up, for example, your infrastructure, how you build up your projects, how you handle your resources, how you develop your infrastructure and your applications, and how you maintain and continuously control your infrastructure. Next to that, we are giving the security and the automation, for example, the IGA tools, the governance tool, the privileged access management, and the automation. I didn't mention, but the automation is the important topic, not just for automatizing your business process or traditional IT processes. Nowadays, more and more company is using for the API automation in case of the SOC activity. So the system continuously, the automated tool continuously download the logs through the API. And through the analysis, it can be AI-based or model-based. The system can make a decision. And through this, for example, can create a ticket, can alert the SOC team, or can instruct the related SOC person or SOC team to run the playlist or the playbook. So through the automation, you can think about the security also, not just about how you can automatize your finance workflow in the organization. This is just a wide idea. Now, the next topic is that how we can help you. Enablement tools and resources. Online, all of the material is available on the LMS portal. For the Tier 1 and Tier 2 partners, and the distributors can access through the partner portal. For the registered partners, is accessible through the support portal. If you don't find them, please contact with me. The last slide will contain my contact information. So feel free to contact with me and I can help you to find the right content on the LMS portal. Moreover, itself the content is focused to the related roles. So if you are working only on the business side, only on the sales side, then you can learn from the sales perspective about the products. If you are a pre-sales, so for example, you continuously present the product, you are doing the POC, then you can really find the pre-sales related content. If you implement the solution, for example, you continuously update, upgrade, maintain, implement on the customer side, then you can find the implement type of content, and the support is for the support person. Additionally, for the Tier 1 and the Tier 2 partners, we can give a peers on view voucher through Broadcom. This is a Broadcom program. What means this? If you want to be certified, not just on the traditional Broadcom certification way, so you want to get the third-party peers on view certification, then we can support you, so we can give you the voucher, and instead of $250, you can take the official peers on view exam for free. This is typically good option for the partners where they are continuously attending on the tenders, RFPs, because on the market, they can prove that their knowledge meet and reach the vendor requirement. And we are offering the Challenger and the Knight program. This is a community, so this is not a certification. In this case, the technical people nominated to the Challenger, in case of MBCom, or to the Knight. And we can give early information, early product information, roadmap information. And through this membership, we can invite the affected person to the annual events, to the Challenger event or Knight events. These are conferences in the MBCom region or in the United States. So part of this membership, we are giving the opportunity for the technical people to discuss with each other through the dedicated WhatsApp group, or help each other on the conference or outside of the official platforms. Moreover, we are giving additional information about the product portfolio, which is not published because sometimes this is internal information, semi-internal information. But because the Challenger and the Knight is the top level of the certification and top level of the technical knowledge, we are working on continuously to give you additional benefits and additional information. How we are supporting the Tier 1, Tier 2 partners and the distributors, we can organize ad hoc quarter meetings, is depending on my load. But it means that a quarterly sometimes is half one meeting per half year. But part of these meetings, we can talk about the hype or running topics. So it means if I see any exciting topic, then I can share with you this information. We can focus to your question. If you have any exact question, for example, part of the implementation, part of the selling process, supporting the opportunity, we can help you. If I cannot help you, then I can inform the right colleague, because the pre-sales colleagues are in the background, itself the team, the technical team is huge, so I can find easily the right colleague. Option A, I can include the product managers from the Broadcom side. So basically, we are supporting you to do the success activity and success business on the field. If necessary, we can do the deep dive sessions, and if the output required to share any documentation for you, then naturally we can share with you, because some documentation is not available publicly. Monthly, and this is one of the example, I am organizing one Symantec and one CE webinar per month. In December, because of Christmas season, only just one session. General, and the second session was the deep dive. Nowadays, it's just one single session, and part of this one single session, we are presenting the general information for the sales and technical role people, and part of this, we are putting some high-level technical information for the technical colleagues. And we can talk about the special WebEx or team sessions, which means that if you have any Excite product information, Excite new feature in any product, then I am organizing special sessions and I am releasing the invitation. These are ad hoc, and depending on the products, I am inviting the product managers. Here you see the summary that how we are supporting the partners. We are giving the NFR license, not for resale software, for the tier 1 and tier 2 partners. Through this, they can build up their demo environment, they can reproduce the technical issues, they can open a ticket because NFR software is covering the support. We are giving the service practice enablement resource kits, short name perks. Through this, you can implement successfully the solutions. You can do the POC. So we are giving a detailed information and a detailed package, because we talk about, in this case, a package, to implement successfully the solution from the POC level in the final stage where the employee and the customer will use the solution. We are giving the sales play resources. Everything is available on the partner portal. We are giving the customer telemetry data. Why is it important? Because if you are talking about the renewal for the partners, is important information that need to increase the number of the seats per user, per device, depending on the licensing, or the system is sized accordingly. Or if the customer need additional information that what type of issues happened about the solution, or what type of important thing what they need to focus in case of the renewal, or in case of the system implementation, or increasing the capacity of the system, implementing additional components. So through the customer telemetry, we can support you, especially the partners, to give enough information that how you can move forward on the required way. We are giving the partner portal option. We are giving the sales-based certification for the sales, for the pre-sales, for the implementers, for the supports. We are giving certification, dedicated certification. We will go deeper in the next few slides. We have a pre-sales team. So if we are talking about opportunities, and for example, you don't have knowledge because this is a first option to offer the effective solution for the customer. So you are at the beginning of the journey, but you know that Broadcom meets the requirement and fit into the customer requirements. Then naturally we can support you through the pre-sales team, and they can help you to present and help you to implement the PO system. Later, the professional team can help you to implement the system if it is necessary. Now let's see the certification. And again, this is only for the tier 1 and tier 2 partners. If you are a registered partner, then please contact with us and we can help you, or we can give you additional information that how you can become a tier 1 or tier 2 partners. So this is again only for the tier 1 and tier 2 partners and the distributors. So if you take the certification on the partner portal, then the first stage is always the proven professional, then the certified expert. If you are a technical people and you reach the certified expert, then you can be a challenger in the night. So this is the partner level certification. If we are talking about the role, then we can talk about the sales role, pre-sales role, implementer, and the support role. If you are done with the proven professional and the certified expert within the roles, then Broadcom will release a badge for you, so you can add to your email signature, or you can prove online part of the tender RFP that you have a certification. And how is working? First, you need to select the product. You see on the screenshot the IMS, the AOD, and the ESG. So you select the product on the partner portal. Then you select the right role. It can be a sales, pre-sales, implementer, or support. And then you start the journey. So first, for example, if you choose the DLP sales, then first you will be a proven professional and then the certified expert. So this is the way that how you can be certified on the different role in case of the different products. About the Challenger and the Night program. The Challenger program handled by MBCom, handled by me as a technical channel manager. There you see the last photo from the last conference, last summit in Georgia. Approximately 40-50 people, colleagues attended on this conference. This is a individual membership, so it's not depending on the employer or on the company. So if you reach the certification requirements, then we can nominate us a challenger, and we are giving all of the access to the WhatsApp group. We are inviting to the special events, to the annual summit, and we are delivering for you the early roadmap information. So basically, comparing to the traditional partnership, we are giving you additional technical information and additional opportunity to try the beta applications or the not released applications. Part of the night, and this is the Broadcom program. This is the next level of the technical certification or technical community membership. Broadcom continuously invite you to the night conference. The next will be in January in the United States. Continuously invite and give you early product information. And part of that, you have an option to discuss directly in person, directly with the product managers, give a feedback or get additional information which is important for you. And continuously, the team is delivering the latest product information for you on every week. Q&A and next steps. Before I check the chat window, here you see Robert and my contact information. Feel free to contact with us if you have any question. Robert handled the business side, and on my side, I am handling the technical questions, including the webinars, including the Challenger program. But optionally, you can contact with the local colleagues. For example, Alena handling Czech Republic and Slovakia. Nazli handled the Turkey partners. Basil, it's a huge territory, handling the Saudi Arabian partners and the regional partners, Bahrain, etc. Katarzyna in Poland and Kenza in FSA. So if you have any question, feel free to contact with us. And before we close the webinar session, let's see the chat window.
Yeah, I can see we have got some questions. I'm sorry, can you hear me well now?
Yes.
We can. Yeah. Perfect. So we have a question regarding the atomic automation. Is there any future sessions focusing on atomic automation, and what is the best way or a plan can help me and our team to go deeply using atomic automation?
Okay, we can organize a dedicated webinar about this. My recommendation, sorry, Ala, but I don't see that what is the company name. If you're a tier 1, tier 2 partner, please browse the partner portal. If you are not a tier 1, tier 2 partner, then please contact with me and we can help you to move forward.
Perfect. Thank you. I believe we still have kind of confusion between the difference between MBCom and Broadcom and how do they connect differently with partners.
Okay. So MBCom in the META region and South Eastern Europe, the sole representative of Broadcom. So if you want to deal with the Broadcom solution, Broadcom software solution, covering the ESG, AOD, IMS, and the VMware, but not today the VMware is not a topic, it's a different team, then you need to contact with us because we are here, the Broadcom. Just explain for you easier. On the lower level, they are using the special definition. Okay, let's see the next question.
Yeah, about if the webinar will be available, yes, the recording will be shared with you all the soonest, and it will be also available on our YouTube channel. I added here our link, so you can subscribe, so you can be always updated about our webinars.
Okay.
All right, for Carbon Black, you can definitely connect with MBCom directly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Feel free to contact with us.
Yes, I'm still trying to figure out the T1 and T2 requirements. Are they MBCom certifications?
Okay, no time to repeat this part, and Robert left the meeting room, so I cannot show you this presentation. I kindly ask you to contact with us, and we can explain for you the whole partner program, and through this you can decide that how you will move forward. Okay.
Perfect. All right. If I'm a semantic partner, can I sell other software such as VMware and Carbon Black?
Carbon Black 100%. The VMware is a total different team with total different partner programs, so I cannot confirm for you. If you want to sell and if you want to deal with the VMware solution, then please contact with us, and we will connect you to the right colleague, and you can discuss with him.
All right. So Walid, also for becoming a partner for MBCom, I believe Robert walked us through the.
Yes, and I see that Basil sent contact information via, so the colleague is tracked.
Yes. Either Basil or Robert, and
Okay.
we'll be more than happy to help you. How can I verify whether my company has met the certification requirements for T1 and T2 partner levels?
Let's discuss with each other, okay? So part of this webinar, we don't want to share any sensitive business information, so please contact with us outside of this webinar.
Perfect. Where can we find the lab build guide?
It's on the partner portal. If you don't find, so basically if you select the right product, typically we can talk about the ESG cybersecurity products, then you can find the PERC tools under the product menus. If you don't find, then please contact with me, and I can guide you that how you can download the related content. Just a small remark that not all product. So for example, on the AOD side is not available, but on the cybersecurity side, typically these are available.
Perfect. Kindly share contact of the channel team we did on the presentation.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So if our focus is VMware, are the requirements different? Actually, as explained, VMware entity is different than the rest of MBCom. So as Kalman mentioned, the division that we are looking after and VMware is not included. So yeah, but we can share with you like an email address you can like contact for any VMware inquiry. I think that's all for today's question. Thank you so much, Kalman and Robert, for the clear presentation, and thank you all for joining us today. So before we leave, we kindly appreciate if you can complete the short survey you will get. And as mentioned, the recording will be shared with you all. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.